What is up, everybody? Welcome to the NFL Showdown pre-lock show, Monday Night Football. One more time for Monday Night Football this year. This should be it. Not to say this will be the last pre-lock show, because maybe we'll do something for college football, probably some Super Bowl, but for Monday Night Football, this is going to put a capper on it. But I knew they were going to have this one. I always look forward. Davis Mattek joining us today. Going to walk through some a very scintillating game, if you will. And Davis, where does the wild card weekend rank on the scale of football weekends throughout the year? This is up there, right? This is one of the best, right?
So it is really good, but I wish that this game was on Saturday, or maybe not this game, but just that it was 3 on Saturday, 3 on Sunday. So you probably aren't in like a ton of these like playoff contests and playoff best ball and all this stuff, but for me, I've got a ton of playoff fantasy football stuff going on, and stretching it out to 3 days, man, it's grinding on my gears. Chop, I'm like, did I win? Did I lose? What do I need? I don't know.
I always would have preferred 3 and 3 just for the DFS standpoint of it. I want
Exactly.
3 games as opposed to 2. And the Showdown is fine. It's good. We're here. We're going to watch it. But if you give me a choice between a Showdown or a 3-gamer, I want the 3-gamer. So I like that. And I jumped into some. I didn't get into enough playoff best. I was doing pretty good the last couple of years, but. I'm looking. I got my eye on some of my teams here. I got some pretty good squads going out there. We'll see if we can pull it off tonight in advance. The one you got to watch is the big ones, the big dollar leagues, man. Sweating those ones out. I need a big Justin Jefferson game for the 500 on underdog to advance. So maybe we get that working. But yeah, I like this, man. I like the wild card weekend as opposed to next weekend we'll have about 4 games. I don't know what we're going to have.
4 games,
more
then
than 2
games,
than
man.
1. So yeah, 6 is good. Once you get past opening weekend's always great. Week 2 is always cool. Then it starts to taper off, and and then now you get the playoffs. So yeah, I kind of dig it. But your wild card weekend, let me ask you this. First, in terms of real life football, anything catch your eye? Do you surprised about anything in the first 5 games we've seen?
I mean, the Ravens just like totally kicking ass against the Steelers, a team that has like pretty much had their number. Tomlin, big winning record against them, big winning record against Harbaugh, big winning record against Lamar. I think our boy, I don't know about your boy, but my boy Lamar. As someone who would like the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl, I'm a little worried with how, and they didn't even have Zay Flowers. They'll probably have Flowers back for the conference championship. Probably not next week. I was like, man, they look pretty good.
Time out, brother. You're already penciling them into the conference championship. They got a big dog game coming up this week. Like a big.
Oh,
big...
no. I like it. That is a crazy game, and I couldn't predict who would win that. But like last year's Ravens had no chance. They pissed all over themselves. They forgot how to play football, and that's kind of been the deal with the Harbaugh Lamar Ravens, is they've gotten in these high leverage spots and they played terrible. I mean, actually Lamar's best playoff game was his first one when he came in for Flacco. That was actually his, it was against the Chargers, right? That was the one where he played the best.
Did he? I remember his first real start was against the Chargers, and they completely befuddled him. And then I remember his best game was against, I think it was Tennessee, but they were down so much by the third quarter. He was going till 2-minute drill the whole time. That's like, I don't even count that. So he's had his struggles. And this is a monster game coming up with Buffalo.
Oh, biggest game of the year. Yeah,
this is like somebody's going to get bounced in the second round there out of those two. So
I feel bad for both of them. It sucks because
really.
Well, I mean, I guess I don't really care. I would actually prefer them to somehow each lose, and for Kansas City to get to play the Broncos or something in the next round. But It does suck because you know how people talk about quarterbacks. Like the only sin Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson ever committed was getting drafted by AFC teams. Really, it's not their fault they have to play in the same conference as Mahomes.
Yeah. So Josh Allen, man, they looked so sharp yesterday. Like that's a good team. Denver is. They look really sharp offensively. Allen's got another. He's got everything. Like he's calm now. He's not throwing the picks. I'm encouraged by what he's been doing, man. I think that they can go. I think that they could give the Chiefs a real hard time. I don't think, honestly, I have to say Lamar, if he were to advance to the Kansas City game, it's like, I don't want to say, he's easier defended than Josh Allen, but I kind of think he is. But whatever, we're talking about that. But
I think he was. I don't think so anymore, man.
You got Derrick Henry there. That definitely takes a big load off of his plate. But big news today, Denver, Davis, Dallas. What? Dallas Cowboys. We got rid of McCarthy, man. What do you think? Who's next in line? Who's going to be our next coach, Davis? Come on, give it to me. Give me the good news. I got some candidates. Who's your favorite candidate? Who would you like to see them go? Please don't tell me Jason Witten, because that's what I've heard Jason Witten's name popped around there, but that would be a Jerry-esque type of move. Hey, the betting markets say it's Deion Sanders, but I just don't think that's going to happen. But
no,
who would you like? Well, I'm telling you, the betting market has Deion Sanders.
It will not be Deion. Deion will either be at Colorado for another year, or he will be the coach of the Raiders with his son.
That's what I thought too. I'm just giving you the numbers, Dave. That's just what the Pinnacle says, or whoever's putting it out there. But who would you like to see the next coach of the Cowboys?
I mean, if I wanted the Cowboys to win games, I think I would say Ben Johnson. But it sounds like that is not happening. I would like Liam Cohen, the offensive coordinator of the Buccaneers, to get a shot. There's another guy who I am now completely forgetting. You know what would be very Jerry Jones would be for him to be the person to give the second chance to Cliff Kingsbury.
Oh, no, please no, don't do that.
Yeah, that would be very, very.
I also thought you were going to say give a second chance to bring in back Kellen Moore, and now I'm like,
you know what? I'd be fine with that. I'd be fine with him saying we made a mistake. We should have never let you out of the building. Come back.
I don't know. As a head coach, I don't know, but I'm going to give you a name I'd like to see thrown out there because it's another former Dallas coach that I'd like to see them maybe bring back in house as the head coach. His name is Wes Phillips. I don't know if you're familiar with Wes.
Do you mean
Wade Phillips' son?
So you mean his son, the offensive coordinator for Minnesota? Sure.
Yes. I just get this feeling like anybody under Kevin O'Connell has got to be good, man. Got to be super sharp, because I think he's the best. I think he's probably maybe the best offensive-minded head coach in the NFL. I'd like this. Just makes a lot of sense to me. Former Cowboy coach, dad has ties in the I don't know, man. But we digress, Davis. We're taking up all the time. We got Monday Night Football. Guys, you got to get you questions in, because we're here for the Monday Night Football playoff game. We're going to answer your questions here for, I don't know how long, another 20 minutes or so, and talk about some players we like. Then we're going to move on and build some lineups. But so fire off those questions. And yes, we're going to get to the Plums play of the night here in a little bit. We'll talk you through some SimLabs, and we'll also find some player props for you. Davis, Minnesota and the Rams. Sharp game here, man. Two young, sharp head coaches, two good teams here. Definitely both of them overachieved this year for the expectations that were set for them. What's your macro level view of this game?
Macro level is the Vikings are better at like every position. Maybe not the tackles. The Rams tackles are actually pretty good, but like the defense is better. I think Jefferson is like one notch better than Puka. Aaron Jones versus Kyron, probably a draw. Stafford's definitely better than Darnold, but like Stafford is better than Darnold in the sense of like, oh, I'm starting a team and I get to have them for a year. I'd take Stafford, but I might take this Vikings Darnold over this Rams Stafford, if that makes sense. Like, obviously, I think Stafford's better, but Darnold has been really outside of that Lions game in the second half against the Jets. I mean, he's just been awesome. He's just been really, really good. I think the Vikings are the better team. I do. Although I did look at this, if you like the fancy numbers, the Rams actually did end the year better in weighted DVOA than the Vikings, which if you like the fancy stats, I would not have predicted that.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you on I think gut feeling the Vikings are a little bit better. Spread says that. You usually don't get to be 2.5 to 3 point favorite on the road.
Well, they're both on the road.
Well, technically, yeah, you're
right. The line is also, this was weird. The line
did that line move because of that move?
It moved not 3, it moved 3.5 when they moved, which I thought was weird. Maybe something with like I don't know. Maybe Matt Stafford's home is in the Palisades and it burnt down. I don't know, man. Because I mean, you kind of saw with the Chargers guys the other day. It was like maybe all those dudes' heads went on.
Okay, maybe you think the mental games there. I didn't even think about that, but yeah, you're right.
You got to think, bro. Like their houses are on fire.
Very true. So, yeah, maybe we're playing some mental stuff here. We got to think about that. But I think it's I just think it's a fun game. Maybe arguably before this thing even started, I would have probably looked at this and said best game of the weekend. So we get it on Monday night. So I'm intrigued by it for sure. And we're going to talk you through it. Let's see if we got any questions right here. Let's see. You got a 13-game NHL slate with Tim tomorrow. Yeah, okay, that sounds good. With the football ending now, I'll partake in a little NHL, a little bit, I guess. Some college basketball. I like some college basketball too. I'll mess around with that. Brian Flores as a head coach for the Cowboys. Mardons. I don't know, man.
Gotta think Jerry's probably not making that move, brother, for a couple of reasons. Gotta think Jerry is not in line to hire the guy who tried to take down the NFL. That's not really Jerry's move.
And for other reasons. I won't.
And for other you got to remember Jerry Jones was attending anti-segregation rallies in the 50s, man.
Jerry Jones from Arkansas, man. He ain't playing that game. FanDuel, GPP, Carolina guy wants to know. He's our FanDuel guy. Your favorite MVP and low-owned flex for FanDuel.
Low-owned flex, Josh Oliver.
Oh, you like Oliver tonight. Why? Yeah. Why? Talk to me about Oliver. Why?
I mean, I feel like him or Naylor is going to end up in the optimal. That's my Plums. Maybe not my Plums play, but that's my lean is. So either Jalen Naylor is going to play way more than the projections say because TJ Hawkinson is fully healthy. Because the reason why Oliver plays so much is they need Josh Oliver to do like tight end stuff, that Hawkinson can't do because he's not 100% healthy. But if they just decide, it's a playoff game, there's no saving him, Hawkinson full go, you're blocking, you're chipping, then Oliver's going to play a lot less and Naylor's going to play a lot more. Or it'll be the same thing they've done for the last 6 weeks and Oliver will play about half the snaps. And on FanDuel, you actually don't. FanDuel, these cheap tight ends are way better than they are on DraftKings because one catch for 7 yards and a touchdown, you're probably in the optimal. If the expensive guys, Puka and Kupp and Kyron and Jefferson all do well.
This is interesting because I'm on the Naylor fade, but Oliver did catch my eye with some stats earlier. So maybe there's something there. So now the next part of that question and Marisha, probably butchered that, but asking about the same thing basically on FanDuel, single entry MVP. You got a lock or you got a really preferred play there?
It would be all Jefferson for me. If I was only playing one team, I think we're going to get a historical Justin Jefferson game here. Yeah.
Oh, don't you're talking dirty now. I need it, man. Yeah. Well, how do you differentiate between him and Puka tonight? Like those are two tier 1 wide receivers.
I mean, I think it's funny that looking at ownership projections in SimLabs and in Lineup HQ, the field like wants Puka like twice as much as they want Jefferson. He's like almost 30% projected ownership in the captain. Jefferson's more like 15 to 20. Just like, man, you're think about that in the big field, like 500,000 teams. That is like 50,000 people, 50,000 individual teams would rather have Puka over Jefferson. It's just so easy to start getting into, not being duped if you just make those decisions.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Jefferson's the better guy, but it's just, two good wide receivers, man. It's just tough sometimes to figure out how that's going to break. But the ownership tiebreaker is a good way to go most of the time. Let's see. Release the Sims, Davis. We will get into the Sims very shortly. Where's Ben Johnson going? Where is Ben Johnson going?
I think he's going to the Raiders, man. I think Brady picked
Man.
up the phone and he said, "Come on, man, we're gonna." That's what it's.
Where do the Raiders draft? Where do the Raiders draft? Two or four, something
4,
like that. 4. Man, they're in prime spot there, man. If they take Shedeur,
the Raiders draft 6, so they're not getting a quarterback.
They're not getting Shedeur.
They either got to trade up or they got to take Jackson Dart, which I would not.
No way. They're not taking Dart at 6. He is not a number 6 player in this draft. No way, man. Davis. If Jackson Dart goes 6, that'll be, buddy. That's a bad pick if that happens. Don't mind taking him later on, but that guy is not. What about old Quinn Ewers? He's not. He's going to get drafted kind of high, and he stinks, right? Like, you watch any Quinn Ewers tape?
I don't think Quinn Ewers is. I think Quinn Ewers is going back to school, brother.
I think he might, because the money's so good these days.
Carson Beck is making as much money
this
year as Will Levis is going to make in his whole rookie contract.
The problem there is, though, that they don't want him back at Texas, so who's going to get him?
I mean, come on, man. They would love to have Quinn Ewers, probably like Georgia or Florida or Florida State. Why would Florida State not?
I get it. Florida State hasn't had a good quarterback since.
Ewers declared, but there's a final date where you can undeclare. You can. Drew Aller was the same thing. You can Ewers and Aller can both undeclare.
Who was shocking to me today that went back to school was Nick Singleton from Penn State.
That broke my heart. I was in the middle of doing a podcast about the draft class, and we were talking about Singleton. And like, as we were talking about him, it announced he was going back to school.
I'm shocked. Like, go get your money, man. But this is a historically deep running back draft, so you can get a starter in the 6th round this year. So luckily, we got that going for us. All right, let's see here. What do we got? Addison captain. What do you feel about Addison and captain?
I tell you, I don't love it because I think, not that he's a bad play, but I'm just thinking about the way lineups are gonna go. If you don't take Puka, you don't take Jefferson, you don't take Kyron, your eye is going to be like, oh, Addison's way better than these other bums. Addison's better than Kupp, and Kupp is $2,600 more. I'm taking Addison. And I think Addison will even be more owned in captain than Aaron Jones, which I think is just too owned.
Interesting. We've seen, dipping into the correlation aspect of it. We've seen Darnold and Jefferson and Jordan Addison all thrive in the same game before, multiple times. This is not it's not like you got to break up that trio right there in your showdown lineups. Those guys can survive and thrive on, all together like that. So that's kind of where my lineup went. But then for the Rams, looking at their big guns, Kyron, Puka, Stafford, man, Cooper Kupp is kind of taking a step back from those guys. Is there any of that stuff right there that you want to break up? Like, man, I can't have these 2 or 3 guys in the same lineup. Or is there anybody that would eat into the other that you would just be like, nah, that can't happen. I can't have that guy in there with those guys.
I'd limit Naylor and Oliver together. I think I would limit Atwell, Robinson, and Higbee together. Those lower end Rams guys. I'll tell you, Chop, I'm not going to tell you that you're going to win if you do this, but I'm going to tell you that if you want the the computer nerds to say you played good. You want the post-contest sims to say you played good. Cooper Kupp is like the most under-owned captain I think I've ever seen in the sim stuff. I know he's terrible. He's got about like 4 fantasy points in the last month. He didn't have to play last week, so we got a week off. We know that Stafford and Kupp. Remember the last 2 times these teams played? Thursday night game. With all the reports leading up to kickoff, oh, they're going to trade Kupp, man. They might trade Stafford. They're breaking the band up. And those guys went out there and they said, you're not breaking us up. We're winning this goddamn game. And they won the game. Puka was awesome in that game. Kupp was awesome in that game. I think Kupp is, he just should not be like 2-3% in the captain.
Well, man, you almost hit it on the head. He's got like 9 DraftKings points in the last 3 games. So yeah, I get it though. It's just one of those plays. But he might come up with a little something with that rest and come up with have a good game. But he might legitimately be washed. Like he wasn't all that super. He was an all right athlete by NFL standards. He was fair. He suffered some injuries. Maybe he's just flat out donezo. I don't know, man. But yeah, it's people are going to game log watch, and that's why the ownership's going to be down there. But I get it. What about TJ Hawkinson in captain tonight? What do you? That's from Steven.
I mean, I definitely like him. I think that they have been playing him sort of conservatively since he's came back, but you saw him play a ton of snaps in that regular season finale against the Lions. Wasn't targeted very much, but played a ton. But I wonder if also he is another one of these guys, because it's so you do Hawkinson captain, Darnold, Puka, Aaron Jones. It's just so easy. I feel like you're kind of entering dupe city with him. Like if you're gonna do Hawkinson captain, I would not spend the full cap. I wouldn't go, all right, I got Hawkinson in the captain, I'm spending the full cap.
What about Juice wants to know is, I'm supposing that's Aaron Jones. Is Aaron Jones a contrarian captain on DraftKings?
So I thought he wouldn't be. I thought he would be the stone chalk, but it actually doesn't really look like he is. I kind of thought, $8,000 for Aaron Jones. I guess he's just been so mediocre.
He's been battling an injury.
He's been battling this quad injury. Yeah, but Akers is sick. Akers did not practice on Saturday, so I don't think they want to use him, and they really don't want to use Ty Chandler either.
No, we're in the playoffs. You're going to use your big guns too, man. So, but yeah, Aaron Jones. Yeah, I was going to say this similar. No, yeah, he's a contrarian captain, man. I'm not seeing very much. I don't see Aaron Jones gathering a whole lot of steam in this game. So you could definitely go that route. What about Higbee? I'm specifically in captain, but Higbee in general. Thoughts on the Rams tight ends?
I think they're all. I wish I had any good insight because they're all like really low owned and cheap. I don't know. Like Higbee has been playing more, but I think he's like locked in at his snap count. Like I don't think they're going to play him any more than 25, 30 snaps a game. He got up to 27 against Seattle, 14, 17, 27. I mean, we've got, Davis Allen, Hunter Long, Colby Parkinson. I think they're all worth button clicks. Basically, I think they're all pretty strong. The reason why I think they're strong is you can kind of play like Oliver and Higbee, and then you can play all the chalk with them because that is a super low pairing.
Fair enough. Let's pull up some SimLabs now. Let's just walk through a build real quick and see what we got. Let's see. Eric says, if you are on this podcast and you have a mustache and you're named Davis, you're sexy, but we need you to say Addison at captain. I mean, that's some pretty high praise from Eric there, man.
I think, look, you can get away with it, but you gotta be thoughtful about how you can't. Let me tell you what you can't do. You can't do Addison a captain, Darnold, Jefferson, Puka, Jalen Naylor, and Tyler Higbee. That lineup is duped. I don't know, 500 times in the main or whatever. Don't do that.
No, for sure, for sure. I would agree with that. You can do you can do a lot of different things with that at the very end of that thing, though. But I like the core of that, though. Let's see. Chris Winkie was like 30 years old when he played for the Panthers. Yeah, he was old.
True.
For low value, Rivers Atwell on Rivers / or
Oh,
Atwell.
so I guess we should mention this because people probably missed this because it was week 18. Blake Corum broke his arm in that game.
Mhm.
He's out. He's done. He's not playing. I think what if I set the line, Kyron Williams gets every touch for the Rams backfield. No other running back gets a rush. -110 both ways. You taking yes, he gets every rush, -110.
Yeah.
No, he gets
Putting my whole account on him taking every rush at -110.
Yes, he's gonna get. He's gonna get it all. But like you said, Corum is out now. So my thought was, okay, maybe if you want to do a large field GPP, play the maybe Kyram gets banged up, and Ronnie Rivers comes in. I also think there's some crazy world where $200 Cody Schrader gets something, anything, and that guy is he's pretty rowdy, man. He had a really good senior year in college there in Missouri, and he's got some
SEC leading rusher. He was on the 49ers. They cut him. They would have liked to have had him, I bet.
Did you happen to catch any Arizona State this year?
Oh yeah, Mr. Scattaboo.
There's a very strong comparison between those two archetypes.
I thought Schrader was a little silkier than.
You think so? Oh yeah, Scattaboo was just he's a horse.
He's a crusher. Yeah,
he's a horse.
Yeah.
He's got a very low center of gravity, but I think there's something there for Schrader. So, but that would require something to happen to Kyron. But that's what you're doing in the large field. You want to take a chance on something. So, thoughts on DeMarcus Robinson? I'm gonna give that one to you. Thoughts on DeMarcus Robinson?
Not for me, man.
Okay.
He is more owned and more expensive than Atwell. I'd like Atwell because you just want one of them to catch a bomb.
Okay.
So I'd rather do that. I'd rather do that.
I've seen a lot of games where that guy targets DeMarcus, man. He loves him some DeMarcus. So I don't know.
He had 0 catches in December.
Yeah, so I mean, he goes through a month. Well, we're just at one game. Just one game here. Let's get some SimLabs, TJ. Pull me up some SimLabs so we can build real quick, man. Or do I got the sim? No, you got the SimLabs. Pull it up. Let's run. Let's run. So you got any special settings for us tonight, Davis? You like behind the scenes on the advanced stuff?
Exclude DeMarcus Robinson. There you go, guys. I'm locking you all in a long DeMarcus Robinson touchdown.
I might have to go back and reconsider my play of the night, man.
We normally don't do this, but kicker defense. Vikings defense is 4,000. This is like the most blitz happy defense in the NFL. Crazy low price. You got to jam Vikings defense above the field.
Interesting. Okay, I like that take. You just never know. Defenses are interesting like that. All right, let's see here. In the advanced settings, sim weight, projection weight, ownership weight, upside, correlation. Is there anything in this game featuring so many good pass catchers? Would you up the correlation weight on this one, or do you just not even care about that? Or how are we playing the advanced settings?
I'd probably decrease the correlation weight, if anything. I feel like when you up the correlation weight, you're going to up your potential number of dupes. I want as low dupes as possible.
Fair enough. Lower that ownership weight, lower that correlation weight. I don't mind upside weight. That gives it a little bit different flavor sometimes. So you can stick with that one and all that. Let's run a batch of lineups and see what it gives us here.
Give us a good one. Come on, SimLabs.
See what we come up with. Yeah, it is like a box of chocolates, man. You're just waiting on that little spinning wheel. I do love it. Oh my gosh! Look at the first one off the
Minnesota defense, man.
Okay, let's real quick before we get into all the ownership parts of it. I know you like them, but could you ever play a defense in the captain spot, or just the upside is just so limited?
In the big lottery. Yeah, not in like single entry or 3 max or anything like that, but in the big, what was it, 500K to first tonight, 300K to first,
million
to first, $1 million
million maker tonight on DK.
Okay, yeah, I mean probably half the prize pool is to first, but still, yeah, that's a really good lineup right there. Like that is unique, does not spend all the salary. That is a good showdown
It's
lineup.
unique. Yeah, it's unique, and use that salary from the saving on your captain and just jammed into good plays. But yeah, interesting. So the captain, the most highest owned captain here in our batch of lineups was Puka.
Puka.
I mean, it's to be expected kind of, but would you do something else now and say, all right, let's exclude Puka. Give me anything but Puka in the captain and see how that turned out? Would you, or you feel comfortable with taking some of these Puka captain lineups? I know you don't like him as much as JJ.
Well, we turned the correlation weight all the way down, and you can see, like, look at that second lineup. Like, Stafford is not in there, and Higbee is, and the Minnesota defense in there. So I'm probably not sweating it when you turn the correlation weight all the way down, because we should, that team has $900 remaining. Like we should be pretty good there in terms of not being duped.
Just looking at this ownership real quick, not seeing a whole lot of kicker action in there. And Mardon was asking about kickers. What's your take on kickers tonight?
Well, it's not giving us the kickers because it's given us Colby Parkinson and Higbee and Akers and Oliver. It's given us the punts instead of the kickers, which I think $1 million to first is probably what you want. You know, big field that is probably more directionally accurate.
Fair enough. All right. Anything else you want to comment on here with the Sims in regards to the Sims, or we get on to some player props?
No, I think let's hit some player props.
Let's talk about them then. First of all, just want to let you guys know, just in case you're wondering, let me pull up my little read here. I'm talking about Splash. If you didn't know, the quick picks is out there on Splash now. You can mess around with that. Use the promo code ROTO10, ROTO 10. You play $100 in quick picks, and they're just going to give you $50 more. Splash Sports, that's what you got. They got some good lines over there. We're not necessarily going to pull up the screen here, but I'm going to look at the lines over there. Talk to me about a player prop that you like tonight. Anything you feeling that looks good to you out there across the industry?
I like Jalen Naylor over, I believe it's 12.5 receiving yards. I like that if we have Mr. Naylor available. 13.5 or 18. I still like 18.5. Honestly. I like Kyron Williams rush attempts higher. Should be 20.5.
Oh, you like it going higher?
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically, you're saying this is a competitive game.
Oh yeah, I get it. And I saw, man, I forget where I saw it today. Somebody was telling me the under. Somebody was giving the under on that. And I was like, I don't know, man. That's a borderline. Maybe it was on Scores and Odds. So I got conflicting, but I kind of with you, man. I just feel like, I don't want to test that guy getting every single snap tonight, and
we could take the under.
No. I'm not taking it. I'm saying I saw it on. I think it was Scores and Odds. Somebody posted the under somewhere. Somebody posted the under, and I was like, I don't know if I want to take that one, man.
That feels like riding
rough.
right. That feels like riding the knife's edge.
I know.
I do like Cup over receptions. Maybe not over yards, but it should be 4.5. I like the that's one of the other overs I like.
Well, I'll throw one out there for you too. Aaron Jones receiving his yardage. We're in the playoffs. You're looking for mismatches. You're creating something. He's kind of hit this number. I think it's been lurking around 18.5 all day. He's done that like 4 games in a row. He's done that a lot this year. Hit that number over. So, and again, I think we're dealing with matchups, special stuff going on here. You're getting the ball into the hands of your playmakers. I don't mind that Aaron Jones over on the receiving yards. And speaking of Kyron Williams playing just about every snap tonight, like the Minnesota run defense is good. That's what you're going to hear. They are penetrable. They're not unbeatable. We've seen that. But if you got a really sharp offensive coach here, he'll find a way to get the ball into Kyron's hands. Maybe it won't be. Sure. Yeah, maybe it won't be just strictly via the run. Maybe he gets some swing passes too. So the reception stuff on Kyron Williams looks pretty pretty tough to me. But there's a lot of routes you can go here. Speaking of props, Davis, talk to me this weekend. How'd you do on your player props this weekend?
I did pretty. Actually, I did really well. But I do me, man. I do the 8-leggers. There's just always something that takes you down. But I got I had like Bucky touchdown on all of them. I included Derrick Henry touchdown on everyone. In fact, I could pull him up right now. I had Eckler receiving stuff that was really good. Josh Jacobs higher rushing yards. Looking like the things that killed me were trying to think. Oh, how about this? We got cheated, man. Mims rushing yards, we got cheated. It was 1.5. So basically, does he get one rush? And then he had a screen pass that they called a rush. They gave him -4 yards for it. Got screwed on that one. Someone else killed me too. Oh, I did a lot of Jaden Daniels rushing touchdown, and he did not get one.
I was rough week, man. Every single thing I had, it felt like, hit all the way up until the very end when one guy fell. Like I had, a 4-teamer going, all hit, sitting on Jaden Reed, 49.5. He ends at 46, gets hurt in the midway through the third quarter. 36 rushing yards for another one on Jalen Hurts. What happens? He takes the one knee at the end, which was butterfly effect, by the way, because Saquon didn't just go ahead and score, right? Saquon goes in, so Jalen Hurts goes down Jalen Hurts goes and takes a knee for a loss of a yard, pushes it back. I miss it by a half a yard. Like just over and everything. I just couldn't get out of my own way, but it happens. I'm hoping we can bounce back tonight, though. I'm looking for a strong one. I do have a little streak going on underdog, so I need to continue that one tonight. But let's talk about Plums play of the night. This is it. We got about 20, 30 minutes, whatever it is, until this thing kicks off. So we're going to do our big crescendo right here. Turning the floor over to you, Davis. Who is your Feel It in the Plums play of the night?
Cooper Kupp, 6 receptions, 89 yards. 2 touchdowns for the Los Angeles Rams against the Minnesota Vikings. Cooper Kupp, Plums play of the night.
I like it. I feel it. It's feeling good right there. I can't go with the easy layup. I mean, of course, Justin Jefferson is awesome. Puka is awesome. We know that. I'm not going to tell you about the running backs. They're great. The quarterbacks, we don't ever give out quarterbacks as Plums play of the night. That's too easy. So what am I left with? I'm left with nothing. You took Cooper Kupp, so you got that. You got that one. What am I going to do? Take a tight end? Can't do a tight end, Davis. I can't do it. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to go against you on this one. One of us is going to be right. One of us is going to be wrong. I'm taking Demarcus Robinson. He every once in a while has a really good game. He gets a long touchdown, does something. I feel like maybe the matchup tonight. If Cooper Kupp really is a little bit behind the 8-ball physically, maybe they turn to DeMarcus. A couple of targets, man. I'm just, I'm trying. We got low ownership. I got a low salary. I got to do something here. Of course, Puka's going to put up 100 and a touchdown. Justin's going to do 200 and a touchdown, but I can't give you that. I got to go somewhere else. I'm going DeMarcus Robinson.
Just to make sure so that you guys get your stuff in and so our viewers do as well, we have a really weird lock time today. They're starting the game early. It's in 5 minutes. It's right at 8 p.m.
Yeah.
Okay, 5 minutes. We're out of here just in time, guys. That was the Plums play of the night. I hope you guys have enjoyed this stuff this year. I'm sure we're gonna have some more pre-lock stuff coming up at some point, but this is going to do it for Monday Night Footballs. So, Davis, we appreciate you coming on this year, man. It was always a blast. Very knowledgeable. You got anything for the people before we get out of here for the year?
No, man. Just go Chiefs. Go Chiefs. It's another Super Bowl for Patsy.
You know what? I'll support you on that one because I don't like Philly. I got Philly friends. Don't like them. I got people who root for Baltimore. Don't like that one.
Don't like that.
Basically, the Chiefs are as neutral as it gets for me. The fans.
All right.
You know what I'm saying?
Most people hate the Chiefs, so I'm glad it's neutral for you.
They're neutral. They've already won it. I'm not, and nobody's gonna get in my Discord and rub it in my face. So I'm rooting for the Chiefs, man. But Guys, we do appreciate you guys tuning in all year long. Thanks for all the questions. Let's get this thing tonight. One more. Somebody hit this thing big for us. Win $1 million and screenshot it for us. For Davis, for TJ behind the scenes, I was your host, Chop. We'll be back next year. But for now, we're out of here.